You're listening to The Parallel Paths, a podcast designed to elevate your mind, body, and spirit so that you can get everything you want out of life. The only question is, are you ready? All right, welcome back to the Parallel Paths podcast. I'm your co-host, Makita Moore.
I'm your other co-host, Blair McClendon.
And again, this is season 3, so we're all about highlighting different people in their hero's journey who are on their path, who are being bold and conscious and really just living their best life and helping those around them. So today our special guest is Mr. Everton. You want to go ahead and tell us a little about yourself?
Of course. Thank y'all for having me. Appreciate it. My name is Everton Allen. I'm a Miami-based creative consultant, if you will. I like to say I'm born, bred, and based down here. It's very important to me to work and kind of put out stuff in my community. So, yeah, like I said, I'm a full-time creative consultant. I'm also a brand owner, clothing and lifestyle brand inspired by Miami called the 305. And yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for a minute, so I kind of like to think I'm an OG or vet in the game at this point.
For sure. You definitely got some skin in the game.
Yeah, bro.
And just to speak a little bit more on that, kind of what got you into entrepreneurship and what made you take that leap?
Well, wow. So it's crazy because it's like I'm coming up on 5 years in it. But you know, just to kind of bring it all together, I started working in corporate in, I guess, 2011 at a Madison Avenue ad agency in New York. Like my first job out of college. Then I came home, decided to come home. I ended up landing a spot with the Dolphins, spent some time there. Then I ended up working for the Marlins. But the biggest thing for me about working for these companies was, number one, I had the urge to like give back to my people, give my gift to my community. And then I also realized like there's maybe a dark side to business, or like, you know, when you face adversity or when things don't go your way, it kind of like, I don't know, it just something happened that kind of like opened my eyes a little bit. So, you know, 2016, I kind of jumped out and decided to just, you know, like I said, give my gift to my people. Now, I definitely wasn't prepared for it you know, as good as I probably should have, but you know, it's been quite the journey, and I'm grateful to be at the spot that I am today at this point, you know, 5 years into it.
Man, my hat goes off to you. I've been doing it for going on 4 years now. Yeah. So, bro, to stay in it that long and just the mental capacity that you have to deal with this stuff. I think that's one thing that goes untalked about, but big salute to you, bro.
Hey, the cool thing about now is like I said, I'm kind of in this OG position, so I have a different vantage point. I understand myself a little better. I'm on my own, you know, kind of personal growth journey, if you will. That's, you know, in an ascension place. So at this point, like, I'm in a good spot, and I'm happy to like definitely talk to other people about these things, because I think it's important at this point, you know.
Yeah. So you said you're in an ascension spot?
Yeah, definitely. Ascension seeking.
So like spirituality is something that you acknowledge, and is that something you utilize in business?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, I tap into angel numbers, and I get readings from people. I feel like I have like spirit guides and light workers that are just around me in my, you know, whether I'm getting my hair retwisted every week, or I need somebody to be a creative director for a shoot for my brand. Like, I feel like I just have these light worker resources across the board that's kind of helping me in my ascension, if you will.
That's dope.
Yeah. You see me over here, I'm just lighting up because you see the same thing, bro. Like,
I mean, I kind of, even like growing my hair has been like a dope part of the journey because I started growing
Yes.
like 2014 or so, and it just took me forever to get like some legitimate length. You know, just like learning your hair and products and talking to people and just waiting on the game to kind of come together. I finally have some left now, but I just pulled them out to get a curl some love real quick.
Yeah, you got to let it breathe sometime.
Yeah, that's why I want to do dreads. A lot of people like, oh, you gonna lock up? I'm like, nah, bro. I know
I can't do the locks. It would, my hair would be super long before I lock it.
Yeah. I probably will always just keep it. Maybe I got commitment issues. That's a whole other.
I mean, shoot, I feel like with mine though, my hair grows so fast that if I lock it, like I'm gonna have to get it
retwist,
like all the time, bro. So I'm like, I might as well just leave it how it is for real.
Yeah.
But shoot, back to,
I was about to say one more thing on hair. I feel like a lot of people are growing their hair out because so I cut my hair, like I used to have long hair and I cut it to my shoulders back in maybe like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. Just 'cause I was like, oh, I want to change, like that'll be, edgy. And then I started reading about like rastas and like the power of your hair. And I was like, damn, like I'm never gonna cut my hair again. I'm gonna keep growing it just because it is an extension of you. And there's so many like sensory things that we don't even realize that we can tap into because we're really not utilizing like our hair. Like, like when you sense something and the hair stands up on your arm, like there's all these different cues. So like now I'm trying to grow my hair back out because it's definitely something
like
good.
just the growing your hair journey. I think there's power in that. You know what I'm saying? Because you really gotta commit to
patience too.
Patience, a big lesson in patience is growing your hair, especially for a dude. I feel because that little ugly phase in between might be.
Oh man. Boy, for a couple months, I would look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, man, I'm about to cut this. But
not there
like,
yet.
you just gotta let it rock. I feel like when we started the podcast, I was going through that phase, and I'm like, I am not a fan, but I'm like, I just got to keep going. So
that's it.
Yeah.
Stuck with it. But Everton, you said there were some things you wish you would have known before, like when you got into entrepreneurship. What are some of those things that you wish you would have known?
Well, number one, that you should probably have a lot more capital than you think you need to begin. I guess just having more business acumen would be nice. But the things that like I've picked up on over the years that have really helped me is like just learning about my industry, the fashion industry. I worked in a retail store for like 2 years in my like locally just to like learn, everything from production to pricing to how the consumer thinks. But most importantly, I learned how to sell some shit. Like I learned how to take this product and get a customer to buy it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was like probably the biggest thing for me is like selling is such a powerful tool, especially like these days. You need to understand the art of selling in order to kind of be successful right now because you can have a product, but if you can't get it off, then you fuck.
True.
Yeah,
that's facts.
Right. You gotta sell some shit. So that skill right there, like I never worked in sales in my life. But like that, like acquiring that skill was definitely a game changer for me. That was kind of like 3 years into the game. So, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it even takes some time to figure out what it is that you need.
Yeah, I think, and this is going to tie back to my question, but I think that's a big key in entrepreneurship is like, it is a marathon. Shout out to Nip. But like, you do have to just take it a day at a time and you don't know what you don't know. So until you try some stuff and fail at it, you're not gonna know what's working or not. So I think that's a lot of people's apprehension into getting into it is like, well, what if I fail? It's like, well, what if you succeed? Keep going. So yeah, just taking that step. But I was gonna say that kind of coincides with what you said earlier, as far as the personal growth and like that journey. How has entrepreneurship played as far as like with your health and wellness on another tip? Because I know you work out all the time, and what's that like?
I mean, I'm at that point now, but throughout the journey, you know, I wouldn't say I knew how to prioritize my health and fitness as well. You know, I'm more concerned about, damn, okay, I got to get this work done. I got to do this. I mean, I still struggle with that now. You know, the guys I work out with being there every day at 11:30, 7 days a week. So I could work out every day if I wanted to, but because you know I'm still juggling, learning how to juggle all the different things that I do. I just kind of can do like 3 to 4 days a week, but that's my. I said that's the goal I'm setting for myself. So I'm good with that, you know. But yeah, like now, it's becoming even more priority as I get deeper and stuff because um, not only am I doing it for my personal well-being and my uh, you know my business, I'm doing it for the longevity too because I'm trying to be at my best for as long as possible, especially getting up there in age. So right now, I'd say like the biggest thing for me in terms of my personal well-being that I try to incorporate into my life is working out, like I said, 3 to 4 days out the week. And then I actually got a black woman as a therapist. And that's
yes. Give it up for E.
Yeah, she got referred to me, and I mean, I'm only 2 sessions in with her, but life changing already. Like I was gonna skip a week this week and like do it every other week, but I called her yesterday because some shit happened. I'm like, yo, I need a session this week because
yes. Like I truly, because I was just having to talk to my uncle about this. He works in the juvenile justice system out here in LA, and he was just saying like we need, like, Black men need therapy. We all need therapy, and the fact that there's such a big stigma, it's like we're walking around, our men are suffering, we're suffering, like everybody's suffering because it's like we've been told that only white people go to therapy or only crazy people go to therapy. But no, like it's someone to help you solve problems. Like why not ask for help and solve? Because we all got problems.
Yes. I mean, but even like just understanding yourself better. Like I've kind of gone through life just this is what life is, not really even considering that there may be other perspectives or other, another way to do things. So just kind of like what I've been doing is a kind of taking a step back, looking at things, evaluating, taking the time, giving myself the space to evaluate the way things are, and then being like, damn, maybe that needs some attention, or maybe I didn't deal with this properly, or just different things like that. So it's like I said, probably life changing stuff. So we gotta that's why I'm like I said, I'm here to just kind of talk about it, just let people know that this is what it takes. This is what it is. There's a lot like I don't think a lot of people do that. Like you see success, but it's not a lot of people, especially in Miami, that is willing to be like, this is how you do things, or this is how I did it. Rarely, very rarely. So I'm trying to be that person at this point.
Facts, bro. Like with everything I'm doing, I'm just trying to help, bro. So in that same boat, but yeah.
Definitely.
Was it was it a hard decision to actually go see a therapist?
No, I mean there's a young lady down here that actually has her name's Ashley. She has a platform around mental health. Like she's one of the few people that's kind of operating in that space. Really dope person. But she had a event for men at a barbershop, and she had some black male therapists come speak to us. So I actually started sessions with one of them after that. But as I kind of was going through it, I realized I was like there was something I was missing, and I think it was honestly just feminine energy. So now that I have that, I think I'm really getting what I need out of therapy.
So
Do you meditate or do anything else to stay balanced outside of that?
It's funny. I know those are like reading and meditating are really popular as well and really important things to be done, but I don't do as much as I think I should. Like I have kind of with my before my therapy sessions, she asked us to kind of do 3 grounding breaths to start the session.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like I'm gonna start adding that into just like regular daily life before I work out, before I sit down and do work, and just take some grounding breaths to kind of get myself in that space. So I'll dabble with that. I as a creative, I try to limit my stimuli. So even just like I don't watch TV really. I don't. If I'm watching TV, it has to be like something intentional. I kind of do mindless TV, which will be like Chopped on Food Network because I like the creativity and the competition, but or news. But I won't like a show. I don't know how people like do seasons of shows.
Yeah.
I mean, they just telling a story or something. And I'm like, yo, like, nah, I need more. I need more.
Yeah, I kind of fell into that same boat when I started this journey. Like I'll read or like you said, watch something intentional maybe on YouTube, but like I hardly ever turn on the TV. And like I mean I'm into it's kind of tapered off a little bit, but it's just sports in general. But I love hoops, so like I'll watch little 3-minute clips of NBA games, get everything I need to know out of that 3 minutes.
Yeah, you kind
or like I like F1.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Sort of.
Yeah, so like I'll watch stuff like that and modern architecture, but like stuff that I'm trying to bring into my actual life is what I would focus on or what I watch. But other than that, like you said, besides that, I'm trying to create. So
right.
And that creation part is so important. For you, Everton, like what helps you kind of tap into your creative mode? Is there a certain formula you have that kind of gets you in that space?
No, it's like a switch. I mean, not even a switch because I'm all like, apparently my mind just works differently. I'll process stimuli differently as a creative, I feel. But in terms of like, all I need is just like time and inspiration. Like if I sit down, and like focus, the key, focus on the task at hand, I could create some dope stuff. And I've done like so many creative things. I don't even need like music or anything. Like I could just go at any point as long as I got the time. I could do it.
I feel like that's the beauty of entrepreneurship is you have that time, you have that control over your time.
Yeah.
Where you know, when you feel some inspiration, you can act on it. You don't have to wait till I gotta clock out and
Right. No, absolutely. But I mean, it could be hard at times. It could be overwhelming at times because you have literally all the time in the world. But then it's like, how do you allocate that time properly? How much time is for work? How much time is for yourself? How much for your relationship? How much time is for your fam? So it could, it's definitely a luxury, but again, that's probably something, even just how to best practices in allocating my time. I wish I maybe would have did some more research on that before I started, because I remember the first day I started as an entrepreneur was August 1st, 2016. Lil Uzi dropped a mixtape, and one of the tracks on there was "Not Do What I Want." And I probably played that song for like the entire day because I realized in that moment that, yo, I could literally just do, like, I realized that power of I could do whatever the hell I want today and every day because I made a decision, you know what I'm saying, to kind of bet on myself. So, but yeah, it's something I work on actively still till this day is, time allocation.
Bro, it's such a different feeling like when you quit that corporate job, and it's just liberating, bro. Like that was such a massive weight off my back. And same boat as you. Like I got a playlist that's just empowering songs like that. So I definitely can relate.
Dang. Like, y'all just helped me realize, because when quarantine first, because every time I'm in grad school, finish my PhD,
doctor,
in August. But when quarantine hit, they shut down. So, we weren't going into the office. And I basically was like, I was doing a little bit of grad school, but mainly like creating stuff on Instagram, creating like resources and leading seminars, all the stuff. I was doing what I wanted to do. And I was at the highest of highs I've ever been at. And then I realized when I was like, maybe a few months ago, I was like, damn, am I depressed? So I was like, I felt different, even though I was still, high vibe, I wasn't at that same level. And I went from, basically being able to do whatever I want to like now working from 12 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. I was like, damn, like I had the taste of that freedom, but now that I've lost it, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to get that back. I'm counting down the days.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like that freedom.
Absolutely. I think, like anything that probably infringe upon your time once you're in this space is kind of an annoyance. Even for me, sometimes I say even client work can be annoyance of my time type thing, because I'm still maybe not in that moment in full control of my time. Like for me, I think the goal is like full autonomy. Like I really just like almost everything's on autopilot, and I'm just creating as I see fit. That's the real bag. That's where it's at for real.
Yeah, having streams of income that just residual just coming in, then you can just do what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's what we're working toward.
Right. That's why we're working so hard now.
Exactly, bro. I'm trying to hit the homies and be like, hey man, here's some tickets. Meet me here.
Yeah. Yo.
And they'd be like, well, I gotta work. I don't care. I'll pay that salary for whatever days that you miss, and bro, pull up. So we out of here.
Everybody's in that space, so it's like people could be sitting there waiting for that, waiting for that moment because they know they dogs when they hear them like, hey, we out to such and such, so you just got the bag ready in the car type shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's hard. That's dope to me, and even that's important to me as well as kind of the people that you're around. Like
that's facts, bro.
Like for years, I always said like you're the sum of the energy that you keep around you. So, if you around a bunch of broke people, you're probably gonna be broke too. If you around some people that's getting some money, probably gonna find some money too. But so I find myself constantly like evaluating those that are around me because you got to be like, damn, what is this helping? What I'm trying to do. I'm trying to live a certain lifestyle. I'm trying to be a certain type of person, but is this helping or is this hindering? You got to kind of
always
evaluate.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a constant evaluation process, and like you said, the people around you, they got to be of a similar mindset and mentality. Like, especially if it's a certain vision that you have, you need to make sure that whatever you're working with or giving energy toward is in alignment with that same vision. So,
of course,
for sure.
Yeah, I would say even like family,
yeah,
right.
Even like their energy can pull you down, or they might not even really understand what you got going on. Like I come from an immigrant family. I don't really have as much like maybe family on the ground in Miami, but we only know what we know. So I'm working twice as hard just to like build something from the ground up, without maybe the help of a parental unit or something like other people may have. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's different too. Like with our parents' generation, I'm guessing they're probably in the same range, but they were programmed a certain way. Like you need to go to school, you need to have this brick and mortar job, this 9 to 5, whatever. And then when you challenge that belief, it can kind of get a little little dicey, or
it could be
not even necessarily dicey, but you just don't necessarily have that same support that you would have if you were doing what they thought was correct.
right. I mean, that was it for me. That was always like, I don't know, like my deal with my mom per se. Like I would do everything that she asked until I didn't, until I fulfilled those requirements. Almost like went to school,
Yep.
graduated, got a job, bought a house. Like, all right, that's the requirements you had from like my life, I guess. So this now I'm what I want to do.
It was like that with me and my dad. Same
Okay.
situation. So I checked off every box. I graduated from college. I bought my first home. I had the corporate gigs. I did all this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not fulfilled.
Right.
And it's actually making me feel like I'm suffering more and more every day. So yeah, I had my own events that kind of opened my eyes and was like, nah, I gotta take the reins of this. Like I'm the captain of this ship. So
right. Damn. Crazy to like the commonalities, that we all kind of have already. I feel like it's just a bigger pool of like-minded individuals that probably grows daily. It's gonna be real interesting, like 10 years from now, to kind of see what the world looks like.
oh man,
what gonna look like. It's gonna be
I think about it all the time because like just going to UF and knowing you and having mutual friends with you, like knowing you, but not like knowing you on a personal level.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it even goes along with how me and Makita started the podcast and why we named it the Parallel Paths is because it's like, man, a lot of us really do share some commonalities that just aren't discussed until we've gotten up in age and we've been able to reflect a little bit and talk about some of these experiences. But it's just wild.
Yeah.
And I look forward to seeing these next 10 because we got some dogs. So I mean, on the female side and the male side, like we got some dogs in this circle. So I'm looking forward to seeing how everybody progresses and grows.
Absolutely. I mean, it's crazy because even like just with quarantine, I feel like I was so prepared because I had been hustling for 3 years already. I was like, yo, I hit the ground running.
Bro, this quarantine ain't do nothing different for me. This is a regular day.
I made the most money on my own. I mean, probably the most money ever last year.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So I know, damn, I feel bad because obviously, like, people are not maybe seeing the same success. But when I was going through my trials and tribulations, 2016 to 2019, 2020 even,
Yeah.
I had my own struggle. So it's kind of, I was prepared based on that. So it's, you just got to find your way, really. Turn that hustle on.
I think that's key too, is like really knowing everybody's journey is unique. So not comparing when you're thriving and somebody else is struggling, or when you're struggling and somebody else is thriving.
Mm-hmm.
Just know that when it's your time, and what's meant for you is meant for you.
Absolutely. I definitely subscribe to that thinking as well.
And Everton, I can't remember if you mentioned earlier, but are you in a relationship?
I am.
Is it, how do you feel like that kind of plays? Because I know before you were talking about how you really have to find that balance between work time and personal time. And you were saying like, being able to dedicate time to relationships. So how has being in a relationship,
it's interesting because I mean, it's a commitment. It takes work. I think that's the biggest thing I learned through this most recent relationship I'm in is like, okay, it really, you got to be really intentional and purposeful in what you're doing with this. So, it's because I guess I've been an entrepreneur the whole time. I've been able to be as flexible as possible. Like, my girlfriend actually spent some time in New York, so I would go up there, a good amount of time because I had the freedom to. But yeah, no, it's interesting because I do feel like there are times where I struggle with the balance. So, for instance, we went to Atlanta last weekend for Valentine's Day, and I still had, as always, I still got plenty of work to do. So it's like it took me, that weekend kind of took me out, and then when I got back, I was so exhausted. I needed like a vacation from the vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed like a personal care day for myself. Um, and then like I had on top of that, I had like a little back injury.
Mm-hmm.
So uh I lost like, pretty much the whole week in terms of productivity. And I feel like maybe sometimes even my relationship can be uh like a little safe space away from the hustle, or like a distraction almost from the hustle. So I feel like I do kind of. I'm definitely more cognizant of balancing and how I'm allocating my time, which between like hustling, the relationship, and then everything else I got going on.
And I know.
Hit,
Go ahead, Clay.
I was just gonna say, you hit on something that I feel like a lot of people in general don't necessarily acknowledge, but a relationship can also be a distraction from the goal. So how important is it to have a partner who understands what you're trying to build and where you're trying to go?
How important it's hmm, I say I'm realizing the power of the partner even more now. Uh, so, you know, I think with every relationship, it takes some sort of like growth and like open communication and like sharing of your needs in order for it to work. Like that's the only way to really have a true adult relationship. So
Right.
I think for me, as I get deeper into uh, the hustle, if you will, I'm learning that okay, I got to communicate what I need to my partner, and then it's up to them to kind of meet those plans and fill the role if whatever it is. So even for me, I feel like for most of my life, my love language may have been more like centered around physical touch. But as I've gotten deeper into the hustle, I'm like more of an acts of service type person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got a lot going on, so maybe I need help with this, that, and the third. Kind of see
Mm-hmm.
fit in, see where you could help me, lend a helping hand because it get real.
It do.
real,
It
real
does.
everything. I mean, shout out to the entrepreneurs that are actually parents as well. That's
Right.
shout out. Like I don't even know how, but shout to them.
I don't know how. I really don't know how.
I don't know how. That
I you know Vince, right?
yeah.
So I mean, what he and Jackie do, I mean, I'm constantly saluting him, and him being my business partner with the Bonafide Agency and just helping me stay organized and doing what he does. I'm like, bro, I don't know how y'all do it. Y'all are literally superheroes, bro.
Right,
Like,
right. But it's just
yeah.
not that bad, especially when it's two entrepreneurs together.
Well,
It's
that's
just
why I said having that same mentality, like,
right.
and sharing that vision. Because he even mentioned, he was like, yeah, if Jackie didn't do what she did, I don't know, like, how this would go. Because, bro, it's such a different mindset when you're an entrepreneur and you wear so many hats. And like you said, it's always work to be done. So having somebody who understands that piece, and I think, like you said too, having some balance, like knowing when to take a break and all of that stuff, that's something that comes with it. But being able to communicate those needs and voice certain things that they may be able to help ground you or vice versa, I think that's huge. So
Let me ask
I
y'all what y'all think about. So, do you think your partner, if you're an entrepreneur, do you think your partner has to be like an accountability partner as well? Like they gotta hold you accountable when it comes to work and hustle and things you need to be doing for the business. Do you think that's their job?
I
Anybody in your life, they should know your vision and they should be able to give you honest feedback when you're bullshitting.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
dope. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Different perspective than what I was gonna say, but I was gonna say, I guess it's what you allocate to them. Like,
Okay.
what expectations you set for them, because like sometimes you may have a business partner who
Is that
and then for your relationship, maybe you want her to be the support system, and you want her to champion you at certain times and give you that little bit of gas that you need. So I think it's whatever role you allocate.
okay? Good, both good answers. I really would just, you know, like I said, I'm really at a point where I'm really open to other perspectives. So it's really just getting life help. Like, what do other people think about these things, and then kind of taking that information and seeing what you could apply to your own thinking as well.
And Blair, when you mentioned that, it made me think more of like, because my boyfriend, I think him being a full-time entrepreneur, he actually just started his entrepreneurship like full-time in January. And I feel like the most valuable thing I could be to him, the most valuable asset that helps to hold him accountable, is just me being in my divine feminine, like me just being that source of comfort, of encouragement, of believing in him. Because if I give him that, he'll take care. That's the accountability he needs.
That's all we need.
Take care of everything.
Or at least for me, like I know in my situations, like I just need that little bit of battery in my back. And like that's all the accountability. Like I don't need you telling me what I need to do. Like I'm already thinking about that piece. So I can hold myself accountable, but it's nice to have the support.
Yeah, I think your partner should definitely like inspire you somehow for sure. Like that's required, I feel.
For sure. I feel like women are such incredible muses. Like when y'all do embrace that divine feminine energy, like it's just looking at you makes you want to hustle. So I mean, it's like you said, it's inspiring just in its own when you have the right energy for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Go
ahead, Blair.
I was just gonna say, before we wrap up, kind of talk to us more about like what you're doing in the community down in Miami. Being a Florida boy, I know that's important to you.
Yeah, nah, it's like I said, I mentioned the brand before at the 305 underscore the letter O on Instagram. I've always had a desire to give back in some form. So right now I'm still like kind of rounding up the funds from a collab I did last year that I'm gonna donate to local organizations. Shout to this company called Better. Shout to the company called Better at Better on Instagram. They actually reached out to me. My old creative director from the Dolphins works over there now, so he just reached out and was like, "Yo, with everything going on, we want to support some type of collab, some type of release where you can, do what you do, and we donate the proceeds to local organizations." So it was a lot of work for me. I basically I did everything for it, from production to design to content, everything. So that was a really dope release for me. Like I said, we're gonna donate the funds to a couple organizations here. If not the end of this month, then probably in March, because we have an event that we do every 6 weeks. Shout to Social Exchange Miami. It's a partnership I have with them. We do a Miami-inspired cultural art experience in the middle of Overtown. So it's a really dope, I guess, cultural vibe, if you will, in the heart of like the Black community in Miami. So we do that every 6 weeks. Like I said, the next one is going to be 305 Day, March 5th. So, we have artists come out. We have hand-selected Miami DJs. We have local vendors. Actually, always a really good sales day for everybody that vends there. So it's a really dope event. We also got a little trap museum from Atlanta next door to the venue, and Red Rooster Overtown, which I don't know if y'all familiar with Red Rooster in Harlem from Marcus Samuelson. He kind of creates this restaurant concept in gentrifying Black communities, but also he puts it there to kind of preserve like the history, but also give something kind of uplifting to the community, like a nice restaurant experience.
That's dope.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Awesome. Awesome. So you're obviously got a lot of stuff rolling out very soon.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, like I mean, I have like ongoing releases right now. I just did a whole collection inspired by the Orange Bowl and UM's 20th. It's been 20 years since UM's last national championship, so honoring that season.
Those are dope too, by the way.
Appreciate that. Appreciate
Yeah.
that. Also 35 years since the Dolphins left Orange Bowl, so honoring that as well with the new collection. I also have, funny that Makeda has the Muhammad Ali picture behind her, but I have a piece that I released last year inspired by Muhammad Ali's time in Miami. Because I don't know if y'all know, but we actually made Muhammad Ali in Miami because he was Cassius Clay when he moved here. He had the fight of the century, and then he actually became Muhammad Ali after that. Got in touch with the Muslim community down here.
I didn't realize that was the Florida Connect.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So
Okay.
that One Night in Miami, the film that just came out, like it kind of talks about that, how Miami was actually this hotbed for Black power, if you will, back in the '60s. So I'm gonna re-release a Muhammad Ali shirt that I did last year at the end of the month. So Q1 is wrapping up strong, if you will. Trying to see what else we could do. Down the road, I was also in Atlanta because I was doing some groundwork to get a pop-up up there and collaborate with people in the A. It's a lot of Floridians and Miamians in Atlanta, and they'll rep the shit harder than anybody here because they in a different place. They want that like home. So we're looking at that, and then also looking at LA and or New York for pop-ups as well. So looking over there too.
That's dope.
Come on out here. The sun is shining. We ready.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what you got on the ground out there. But yeah, a lot going on. A lot going on with the brand. That's my baby, and that's kind of ideally, like I said, getting in that space of, full autonomy on your time and all that. That's where I want to be, where I could just have that on autopilot and create from that lens on the daily and be that voice of pride for the city. The landscape is vastly changing down here, like rapidly. So I want to make sure we preserve our culture as much as possible. I don't know if y'all like seen any of these articles that come out recently about how people are moving to Miami and Florida, and probably Tampa too, even where like big companies or even like Silicon Valley companies are moving down to Florida because of the weather, and they realize like, yo, we could do all this shit remotely. Why don't I just live in paradise?
Exactly.
Why would I stay in the cold when I don't have to be here? Like, I heard New York is a ghost town right now, which is crazy because everybody touts New York as like this spot, but you take away the kind of the luster goes away.
Bro, that's facts. I mean, again, living in different places and experiencing nowhere near like a New York type cold, but like a Seattle and Atlanta. Like Atlanta was colder than Seattle, and I'm like, Atlanta too cold for me. So Florida boy at heart, I was like, I need the sun for one, because it's too gray in the winter. And I need some warmth. So yes, I got to stay at the crib.
Right. No, I'm like, bro, I'm not going nowhere, especially because if I leave, I'm making space for somebody, probably an outsider, to come take up land and ownership.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm posted up. I live down the street from the stadium, and I'm like, I'm not leaving because I know they gonna flip a switch one day. And it's gonna probably change, but I really want to hold it down, if you will.
Got so much appreciation for you, planting those roots nice and firm and having and being intentional about it, because that's what we need. We need to stop leaving our neighborhoods and let other people take over them.
That's what a lot of my friends right now that I grew up with are like, contemplating going elsewhere. And I'm like, I feel you. You know, it is hard to kind of make a way in somebody in Miami, really, because you know, whether it be the cost of living, the schools, all these different things, but we was raised on that and we came out okay.
Right.
I think is more, you know, the parenting is a huge part of who we are today. So I'm holding it down. Like I said, they actually just moved like the Dolphins training facility next to the stadium. So now both of those things are in the middle of Carroll City. I will be interested to see if some players will actually move around here as well, or even like a Miramar, South Broward, because you know, because the training camp used to be in Davie, a lot of players would just end up living in Davie. So I would kind of want to see if having the training facility here would help, you know, bring some players to Miami Gardens as well.
Property value going up in that case.
Yeah. Now, if I bought my house today, I would not be able to afford it, the market price. So,
yeah, man, real estate in Florida in general is going up, like all across the state. Like, I mean, even in the Panhandle, I was talking to my homie about it, but it's like places where you used to be able to buy bulk land for somewhat cheap. Like now it's through the roof, and like even rental prices, it's like, bro, I'm not paying as much to live in that area. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
But I guess let's let the people know where they can find you at, and and any last tidbits that you might want to leave with the people.
Okay, all right. You can find me at Everton Allen on IG, evertonallen.com. You can see my resume. I'm actually working on updating my portfolio as we speak. I had a couple people ask for that recently, and I hadn't done that since like 2016. Been hustling for all. So yeah, at Everton Allen on everything. I own that. That's me. Actually got my logo tatted and everything. So I'm real big on branding. You can also find the brand at the 305 _. That's at the 3-letter-O-5 _ on Instagram. You can also shop with us at the305.com. And yeah, I guess any last tidbits? And keep hustling. We're going to get this bag this year.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Receive that.
That's all. Yeah, right. That's what right now.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you so much, Everton, for coming, sharing. You dropped so many jewels. I was taking notes as you were talking. So we are so grateful for you, you know, taking this journey, listening to your spirit, and being willing to make mistakes and to, you know, keep pushing through, and to be able to invest back in our community. Because that's what this is all about, is as you grow as your individual, you know, you're supposed to pour that over, share that with people around you to help to empower and elevate them. So grateful for the work that you were doing and all that is to come.
All is well. Thank you so much. Yeah.
For sure, bro. Thank you for coming on.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
All right. You too, bro. Peace.
Peace. Hey, Parallel Podcast listeners. If you're looking to learn more about building a strong mindset and deepening your meditation practice, join Makita every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time live on Instagram for Makita's meditation and mindset tips. You can also schedule a free consult by visiting the link in her Instagram bio at Makita Smiles. And for all things health and wellness, check out Blair's site, 3layerswellness.com, for products, services, and resources. And if you're looking to establish or enhance your business online presence, don't forget to check out thebonafideagency.com for assistance with websites, logos, graphic designs, and more. You can find all of this information in the show notes as well.